Do you need to supplement if you're eating a carnivore diet? I get this question every single day here on YouTube, so today we're gonna dive into it. I'll answer some frequently asked questions about the carnivore diet, and we'll also talk about the vitamin and mineral composition of the foods you'll be consuming. I'm also going to share with you what supplementation I do. And I'll share with you some tips for figuring out which supplements would be best for you if you decide to go that route. I'm Jenny. I've been doing a carnivore diet experiment since December 2022, and I've been tracking my progress through weight, measurements, DEXA scans, continuous glucose monitoring, blood work, and arterial scans, and sharing all of that data with you here on YouTube. To supplement or not to supplement? That is the question. There are lots of people out there that say you definitely have to supplement if you're eating carnivore, and then there's a whole nother group of people that are like, you do not need to supplement at all. Let's unpack this topic a little bit and see if we can find some answers. Before we dive in though, I'd like to take a moment to thank today's video sponsor, LMNT Electrolytes. LMNT has everything you need and nothing you don't, with 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. In the beginning of carnivore, you can lose a lot of weight, and a lot of that is water weight. And when you're losing water, you're losing electrolytes. And that can make your keto flu symptoms so much worse. So for every beginner carnivore, I recommend 1 packet of the raw unflavored LMNT in 16 to 24 ounces of water first thing in the morning before you have any kind of keto flu symptoms. Doing so will help to regulate your electrolyte levels and hopefully mitigate some of those keto flu symptoms. You can use 1 or 2 more packets throughout the day if you need to. They also have a brand new sparkling water that is amazing. I have been drinking those left and right. They are so tasty. LMNT is offering my viewers a free sample pack with any order. So you can head over to the link in the description. It's drinklmnt.com/Jenny Mittich. That's DRINKLMNT.com/Jenny Mittich. And get your free sample pack with any order today. First off, let's define what a dietary supplement is. A dietary supplement is a manufactured product that's intended to supplement somebody's diet. This could be a pill, a capsule, a tablet, a powder, or a liquid. And this could be derived from a food product, or it could be synthetic. The question here is, will you need to supplement if you're eating a carnivore diet? This was my #1 concern when I started carnivore. I thought that I got all of my vitamins and minerals from fruits and vegetables, and that if I excluded them from my diet, that I would become deficient. Because there's no vitamins in meat, right? Or at least that's what we've been told for a very long time. That's actually not true. You can get all the vitamins and minerals that you need on a well-formulated carnivore diet, and there are plenty of carnivores out there that do not supplement at all and feel fine. Sean Baker just posted this amazing vitamin and mineral breakdown of a ribeye steak. This graphic is actually from Nutrition by Judy. She's also amazing. I'm going to put links to their channels in the description below. But as you can see, this graphic, there's tons of vitamins and minerals, and this is just from what, like an 8-ounce ribeye steak? Incredible. Let's go through some of the animal sources for the common vitamins and minerals out there. First off is iron. Iron is an essential nutrient for your red blood cells, for energy production, and women especially need to make sure they have good iron levels, otherwise they can become anemic. Men can too, but it's especially an issue for menstruating women. A great source of iron is red meat. You can get all of your iron needs met by just eating steaks and beef and all those kinds of things, but animal products are an excellent source of iron. Vitamin C, this is a big one. I get questions about this probably every single day here on YouTube. People are concerned that if they're eating the carnivore diet that they're going to get scurvy. Scurvy is just an extreme form of vitamin C deficiency. But that doesn't happen on carnivore as long as you're eating fresh meat. Also, when you're not consuming as many carbs, your vitamin C needs decline drastically. I'm going to put a link in the description to my carnivore questions video where I dive into vitamin C and scurvy into much more detail, but just know that you can get enough vitamin C if you eat a minimum of 1.5 pounds of meat per day. Grass-fed meat is going to have a bit more vitamin C in it. And then there's some excellent animal sources besides the meat that you're consuming. You could do beef spleen, beef pancreas. Oysters and liver are also excellent sources of vitamin C. I'm going to put a link in the description to an excellent article that everybody should read about vitamin C on a carnivore diet. So many references, so many resources, and it will give you a list of the different animal sources for vitamin C. Vitamin D. This is a fat-soluble vitamin that our body manufactures from the sun. It's super important in bone health, mental health, immunity, and so much more. Excellent animal sources of vitamin D include trout, grass-fed beef, eggs, beef liver, salmon, and sardines. Next up is magnesium. Magnesium is essential for bone and muscle development, nerve function, mitochondrial health, and blood pressure, among so many other things. Animal sources include seafood, beef, poultry, dairy, and a very interesting source of high levels of magnesium within the animal kingdom is snails. Who knew? I better go scoop up some escargot. Next up, potassium. Potassium helps your cells function normally, and it's important for heart muscles and nerves, and also for nutrient and waste movement. Great animal sources of potassium include chicken, beef, turkey, fish, and eggs, all of which have very respectable levels of potassium. Next up is B12, and this is one of those vitamins that you can only get from animal sources, at least the high quality absorbable version of it. If you are vegan or vegetarian, it is in your best interest to supplement with B12. B12 is an essential nutrient for humans, and it is used in manufacturing DNA, red blood cells, energy production, and eye health. And it can lower your homocysteine levels if they are elevated. Animal sources include meat and animal organs, fish and shellfish, dairy, poultry, and eggs. Next up is folate. Folate works in conjunction with B12 to manufacture DNA and red blood cells, among so many other things. Sources of folate include liver, poultry, eggs, and fatty fish such as salmon. We could go on and on about the different vitamins and minerals that you can get from animal sources, but as you can see, it's entirely possible to take care of your vitamin and mineral needs on a carnivore diet. But what if you still want to take supplements? Can you do that? And the answer is, of course you can. It's your body, your money, and your life. If you want to take a supplement and it makes you feel better, do it. But there are a few things you should be aware of and a few things you should be looking for on the ingredients labels of these supplements to make sure that they are safe to take. Supplements are not regulated by the FDA, so it's kind of like the Wild West out there. And if you're going to ingest these things, you need to make sure you're getting the safest, highest quality supplements you can find. Let's go over some tips for reading the ingredients labels of the different supplements that are out there. First of all, you want to make sure that you are taking a supplement that is highly absorbable by the human body. You don't want to take a vitamin or mineral that isn't going to be absorbed by your body, because then you're just going to pee it out, and that's a complete waste of money. And that's the best case scenario, peeing it out. Worst case scenario is that it's harmful to you. Let's take a look at magnesium, for instance. There are several forms that are highly absorbable for the human body, and there are certain reasons why you would want to take one over the other. Magnesium citrate, magnesium glycinate, and I'm definitely going to butcher the name of this one. This is magnesium L-threonate. Magnesium malate is also a great form of magnesium, and all of these are going to be highly absorbable by the human body. Also, take a look at what they're using as the source of the vitamin. For example, for B12, you want to make sure that they're using a methylated form of B12. This helps with absorption. I personally avoid any B12 vitamin that contains cyanocobalamin. I might be mispronouncing that, but I'll put it up on the screen for you. That's a synthetic form of B12 that contains a cyanide molecule for stability. Cyanide is a poison, of course, and you know, there are minimum dosages that aren't going to be harmful to a human, but for me personally, I don't want to take anything that has even a tiny bit of cyanide in it. I stick to the best, most absorbable forms of B12, which are methylcobalamin, and this one I'm definitely going to mispronounce, adenosylcobalamin. Wow, that was a really long word. I'm glad I put it up on the screen because that's a lot. Also, you want to make sure that the vitamin, if you're taking like a multivitamin or something like that, that it has folate, not folic acid. For about 40% of the population, they can't absorb non-methylated B vitamins and folic acid, and it could actually be giving them issues that they don't even realize. This is a great tip tip if you're pregnant and you're taking a prenatal vitamin, make sure to read the back of that label and make sure that it says folate, not folic acid. Folate is the natural form of that vitamin that you can actually absorb. And there's some arguments out there that folic acid is causing prenatal and postpartum depression, that's one of the big causes of it. Now, this is not my research. This is not coming from me. This is just some things that I've read. So I'm hoping that they do a bit more research on it. But the theory is that the folic acid is causing a lot of mental health issues, whereas if you were taking the folate, that you wouldn't have those issues. Again, you just want to be taking the form that your body can absorb. So folate, not folic acid. Next up, take a look at the ingredients on the back of the label. You want this to be free from added colors and dyes, any kind of vegetable seed oils like canola, soybean, vegetable, or sunflower oil. You want this to be free from any kind of sugars such as dextrose, high fructose corn syrup. There's no need for sugar to be a part of a vitamin or supplement. And I personally like the ingredients label to be as short as possible. I don't want there to be a million other things in there besides the vitamins and minerals. Will high quality vitamins and supplements be more expensive? Well, yes, and there's a reason for that. You're dealing with higher quality ingredients and that always costs more. Also, cleaner facilities and more rigorous third-party testing, along with higher product standards. But I'd rather pay more for my higher quality third-party verified supplements than a cheaper version because I'm going to be putting this into my body. And you have no idea what these companies are using. Again, the FDA does not regulate the supplement industry. It is literally the Wild West out there. You want to make sure that you are taking the highest quality supplements possible. Next, let's move into the supplements that I'm taking every day. I'm following a strict version of the Carnivore Diet, basically B, 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 and E, which is beef, butter, bacon, and eggs 90% of the time. I'll throw fish in a couple times a month. I'll eat chicken maybe once a month, and I consume very little dairy. I personally take this magnesium L-threonates, 2 to 4 pills per day. I've been working my way up. I'm taking these in the morning. I had been taking these at night, but I've been reading a bit more, and I learned that it's better to take magnesium during the day. It's a more active vitamin and mineral. So I've switched over to daytime, and I have had no detrimental effects. They don't make me tired or anything like that. And I have been noticing that my energy levels have been increasing. I'm also taking one of these potassium gluconates in the late morning and early afternoon to work in conjunction with the magnesium. The reason I'm taking both of these supplements is because over the winter, I supplemented with very high levels of vitamin D, 10,000 IUs per day, plus some K2. And after about 3 or 4 months, I started experiencing a lot of fatigue issues and then muscle cramping issues. And I think what happened was I was not supplementing with magnesium, which when you're taking very high levels of vitamin D, you absolutely need to do. Magnesium is used in synthesizing the vitamin D. Now, I was getting enough magnesium from my diet, but because of the high level of vitamin D supplementation, it was not enough. And I think I sapped my magnesium stores dry. So I've now been supplementing with the magnesium and potassium. The cramping has gone away. My fatigue is improving. But from my readings, it takes anywhere between 8 weeks to a couple of years to really build that magnesium supply back up. So I'm just going to be taking these indefinitely. They're very high quality, very absorbable forms of both of the vitamins. I'm also using some of these beef organ supplements from Heart and Soil. This is grass-fed liver, pancreas, heart, spleen, and I always forget one, kidney. I hate the taste of liver. I've tried it many different ways and I just can't stand it, but I would like to get the benefits of organ meat. So I have been taking these. This is a very high quality brand, grass-fed. I've only been taking them for about 3 weeks. I have noticed an improvement in my energy levels, but I'm wondering again, is that the magnesium and potassium? Is that the fact that I've been outside a lot more, getting a lot more sun on my skin because it's summertime? Who knows, but I'm going to continue taking this for a few months and I will let you know my thoughts after that period of time. I also use LMNT Electrolytes. We talked about this in the beginning of the video. I'm using the raw unflavored most of the time. I also really dig the watermelon salt. And then they have this new sparkling water that's out. It's absolutely amazing. This is the black cherry lime flavor. This is one of my favorites. I've probably been drinking 1 or 2 of these a day plus 1 of the packets. It's been really, really hot out. We kind of having a heat wave here, but these are absolutely delicious. This is 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium per can or packet. There's a lot of carnivores out there that swear by no salt whatsoever, especially some OG carnivores out there saying you don't really need any sodium at all. And then there's an argument out there saying that on a ketogenic diet, your salt needs actually increase and could go up to 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 milligrams per day. But I think for me, I operate best when I'm doing 1 to 3 packets or cans per day and also salting my food. So that's kind of what I've figured out is my personal salt threshold. And that's all the supplementing I do. I have adjusted my supplement routine to my lifestyle, to my individual needs, and I think that you should do the exact same thing. So to circle back to the original question, do you need to supplement on a carnivore diet? And I think the answer to that question is no. You can get everything you need from the food that you are consuming. But can you supplement on a carnivore diet? And I think the answer to that question is yes, 100%. If you want to supplement, you totally can. If you're choosing to take supplements, just make sure that you are following the tips that we talked about in this video, and you should be right as rain. I've put links to all of the supplements that I take in the description below. I've also taken some time to curate some additional supplements for you. So if you're looking for a particular supplement out there, I've gone through and I've searched, looked at the ingredients labels, and come up with a list of supplements that I would take if I needed to take those particular supplements. So I've also included those in the description, a few versions of each so you can pick and choose what you like, but I've done the work for you. So head to the description to check that out. Right here, I'm going to put a link to my carnivore questions video where I go into a lot more detail about vitamin C and scurvy. That's a really interesting video. And if you're curious about some special considerations that you should keep in mind before starting carnivore, I'm going to put that video right here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.